Alrighty. We are revisiting Twin Peaks, and we just watched...
With the recent passing of David Lynch.
And we just watched Season 1, Episode 1.
Yeah, the pilot, the first one.
And, wow.
Yeah.
Beyond the fact that it seems to be nothing but a box of gerbils in this town, crawling all over each other... it is kind of almost heightened surrealness, but still has an odd grounding.
You know, yeah, it's kind of it's a little off, but like it's like a heightened reality of.
It's not so off that it's comical or a parody
unrealistic
or
unbelievable, but just kind of off and eccentric.
But I think it's more. I think it's more normal than.
It is more normal than
yeah,
because it's just the way David Lynch would portray things. It's got his
all over.
It's got his hands all over it. Yeah.
And
I think it is more like straightforward.
Yes, it very much is
than some of his other work.
Yes.
And I think that's mostly because it's this ongoing series.
Well, and the co-producer,
the co-showrunner. Yeah. Kind of kept it grounded a little bit.
Yeah, because he was Hill Street Blues and doing...
Yeah.
And so it's a police procedural, but it's just like... So I watched this show when I was very young, and I shouldn't have watched this show. Sort of like watching Alien when I was 3. Just, no. Because it was on TV. So, but... It's wonderful, and I mean, some of it is quite trashy, but it's
not in a David Lynch
gig.
No.
But it's not trashy like
it's that,
Honey Boo Boo. It's trashy like real life.
It is, it's like a Peyton place.
Yes, very much so.
Everybody's screwing each other, behind each other's backs. and they think they're keeping it cool, but everybody knows everybody's business.
Yeah,
and kind of like where we live.
Yes, we meet, but like the eccentric ones are the one with the gal with the eye patch.
Oh yeah,
and the log lady are really the eccentrics.
Yeah,
the gal at
and the sensitive cop that just.
And the gal at the police station who is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I always thought she was weird. She was weird in any show she was in.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. That gal, the actress.
Yeah.
She's pretty much, everything she does is little.
And we saw George Costanza's fiance's parents.
Yeah.
They're in the show, and I was like, oh.
And they play a married couple in the show. No, they're not married?
No. One is married to the other one, and the other one is the mother.
Oh, duh. Okay.
Yeah.
But both of them were in Twin Peaks, yeah.
Yeah, but it's... Well, because I only noticed them together when he was holding her arm.
Right.
When she was on the couch. I'm like, wait, I've seen those two somewhere before.
Yeah.
And,
and just the way the whole thing starts out and starts to unfold, and I mean it's only
you can see the misdirections already.
The pilot was a 2-hour premiere, so
yeah,
it really took the time it needed to set up the whole series. Hour and a half with no commercials.
Okay, yeah.
But in a broadcast TV time slot, it would have been a 2-hour time slot. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Sheriff Harry Truman.
So we'll be following it, and
we're going to revisit it
because
Eric doesn't remember it all, and it's been 1,000 years since I've seen it, and I probably shouldn't have watched it because I was too young to watch it. But
and we'll be checking out some of David Lynch's other works, but this one for sure we'll be binging through it and posting our thoughts on each episode. And it's just it was a one of a kind series, no question about it.
Dale Cooper looks like my friend Charles Holland,
yeah,
and he looks like a plastic Ken doll. It's it's so immersive that you have to really.
It's so oddly fascinating.
Yeah.
You can't help it. You just, you do get sucked into it.
It's not like a car crash, but it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And so much is revealed in the pilot that is just like, oh, geez, yeah.
Yeah, and just the whole thing with the murders and the investigation into it, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds, because I never really got to see Twin Peaks like on the regular when it was first on TV. There was just too much going on in my life. I had too many other things that I was watching, that we were taping and things, because we weren't home for it, because back in those days we didn't have on demand or DVR or whatever. I had to set the timer on my VCR to tape my Star Trek or my, whatever it was that
you finally got
X-Files.
You got everything fixed correctly. So
yeah, I just did that one mistake that once. Where I said
one time.
That one time, which was, for the premiere, Encounter at 4 Point, and I was so stoked to come home and see the new Star Trek, The Next Generation, and I got like 3 minutes of it because I screwed up my timer. And it was my bad, and I couldn't be mad at anybody about it, and it was just, Anyway, besides that, this is one that I'm looking forward to getting through, and we'll even do the fire walk with me and look at the Twin Peaks: The Return that
absolutely
came out. So
it's going to be a while, but we're going to get through it.
But yeah, because again, with the passing of David Lynch recently, it's got me kind of wild hair to revisit his work.
But this was also something we had planned.
Yeah, we had talked about it, but now that this has happened, we're just doing it.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Twin Peaks? Have you seen it? If you've not seen it, would recommend you check it out.
Oh yeah,
because it was a one-of-a-kind series. There's nothing like it.
And maybe not binge it, but like one episode a night or one episode a week, something like that, to get yourself immersed into it.
Take some time to digest it, because there's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is not your typical average, broadcast network TV all.
And I can absolutely see how this was a precursor to things like The X-Files and Millennium.
Oh yeah.
This is feels more like Millennium than X-Files, but there are those markers in it.
Maybe even like Legion,
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was different.
Yeah.
Quite different.
Yeah. So, with that, let us know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe.